Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. This is one of those stories that could shake up not just the AFC North, but the entire NFL landscape. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that would see Nick Bosa, the star pass rusher for the San Francisco 49ers, donning purple and black. Yes, you heard that right. A trade that sounds straight out of a fantasy football dream, Bosa heading to Baltimore. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this really happening? Well, sources indicate that this is no mere speculation. It's a serious possibility, one that could reconfigure the Ravens' front seven, making it one of the most fearsome pass-rushing units in the league. Let's dive deep into the details, the reasoning behind the move, what it could mean for Baltimore, and how it might impact the playoffs race. First, a quick look at the context. The 49ers, sitting at 9-5 with just a few games left in the season, are in a bit of a rebuild mode right now. After extending Brock Purdy earlier this year, they're adjusting their roster to fit their financial constraints, especially with about $18 million over the cap following the extension of Kittle. They're also looking to reshape the team for future success, especially considering the aging of some of their key players. Meanwhile, the Ravens are clinging to a 7-7 record, but are right in the thick of the playoff hunt. Their defense has been solid, but they've struggled to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. This is where Bosa comes into the picture. The star edge rusher has been a game-changer since entering the league in 2019. His ability to wreak havoc in the backfield has been nothing short of elite. In the 2025 season, he's recorded 14 sacks in 14 games, along with 88 pressures, placing him among the top in PFF's pass rush grades. His 96 overall PFF pass rush grade, combined with forcing 6 fumbles and deflecting 8 passes, illustrates just how disruptive he is. Not to mention, he's accumulated 102 tackles, which shows he's not just a pass rusher, but also someone who can impact the run game. His EPA per pressure of -0.20 is among the best in the league, indicating he consistently wins his matchups and applies pressure at an elite level. Bosa's career stats speak volumes. 72 sacks, 412 tackles, 152 QB hits, and a steady 4.2 yards per pressure. His recent performances have been outstanding, like Week 11 against the Rams, where he racked up 3 sacks, 7 hurries, and 4 tackles for loss, all while allowing just 9 yards after contact on YAC runs. Injuries have been minimal. In 2025, he only missed 1 game due to a knee strain, and earlier in his career, he suffered an ACL tear in 2023, which kept him out for 8 games. His style of play draws comparisons to Von Miller at his peak, an explosive, relentless force who can change the course of a game. Now, why would the 49ers consider parting ways with Bosa? Well, for one, they're contenders but financially constrained. They're looking to balance their books to create space for extensions, like Kittle's. Plus, with Hargrave healthy as their starting DT, they have other pieces in place on defense. The team's focus appears to be shifting towards rebuilding their offense, especially as Christian McCaffrey ages, and the team looks to sustain their Super Bowl window. Sources like Adam Schefter have noted that there's an ongoing contract impasse with Bosa post-All-Pro snub, and the front office might be prioritizing youth and future flexibility over locking in a player who's about to hit free agency. For the Ravens, this potential trade would be nothing short of transformational. Pairing Bosa with a guy like Dalen Hayes or Odafe Oye alongside Calais Campbell could create a front seven that opponents dread. It would significantly boost the team's pass rush, which has been a concern all season. Currently, Baltimore's sack rate hovers around 70%, and their inability to consistently pressure the quarterback has allowed opponents to escape the pocket more often, scrambling at a rate of about 12.4%. Bringing in Bosa would elevate that pressure, potentially increasing the sack rate by roughly 25%, pushing it toward 8% or even higher according to PFF projections. That's a game changer, especially when facing teams like the Browns or Chiefs, where pressure on the QB is critical to winning. Imagine Bosa lining up on the edge, constantly forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable throws, creating turnovers, and setting up the Ravens' opportunistic secondary. It's no secret that Baltimore's defense has been opportunistic this season, but they've lacked that one elite edge presence to make offenses pay. Bosa would fill that void, much like Khalil Mack did during his prime. His ability to generate sacks, force fumbles, and disrupt timing would elevate the entire defensive unit, making the Ravens a nightmare for any quarterback they face in the postseason. This addition would also open up possibilities for the Ravens' defense to be more versatile. With Bosa drawing double teams, players like Van Noy could focus more on coverage, freeing up linebackers to roam and make plays. It would allow Wink Martindale to dial up more exotic blitz packages, knowing that Bosa's presence can contain the edge and collapse pockets from multiple angles. It's a recipe for a defense that can adapt and thrive under pressure, especially in high-stakes games like the upcoming rematch against the Bengals or crucial AFC playoff battles. Looking at the numbers, the impact of Bosa on the Ravens' overall defense would be quantifiable. Projections suggest a 20% increase in EPA, expected points added, for the pass rush, which is huge when you consider how much that can tilt the field in Baltimore's favor. His addition could be the key to turning a good defense into an elite one, especially against a balanced offense like Cleveland's, led by Deshaun Watson. Watson's QBR of 84 isn't terrible, but with Bosa and the improved pass rush, the Ravens could rattle him into mistakes and force turnovers that swing games dramatically. Now, let's talk about the playoff implications. Baltimore is currently sitting at 7-7, in that precarious spot where every game feels like a playoff game. The odds of Baltimore winning the AFC North aren't out of reach, but they need to tighten up the pass rush. FanDuel's odds have shifted from plus 3,500 to plus 1,600 for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, which shows how much the perception has changed if they manage to make a splash with a player like Bosa. He could be the X factor in the playoffs, especially in high-pressure situations that demand chaos and relentless pressure. Think about the rematch against the Chiefs. Mahomes has been sacked 40 times this season, and adding Bosa could make him think twice, increasing the chances of mistakes and turnovers. The comparison to the 2018 Bears trade for Khalil Mack is fitting here. That move turned the Bears' defense into a dominant force, elevating their sack total and creating chaos in the backfield. Baltimore would be aiming for a similar boost, one that could push their postseason pressure rate up by 16%, making it much harder for opposing quarterbacks to operate comfortably. Plus, with the Ravens' secondary playing more aggressively because of the pressure, turnovers could become more frequent, giving Baltimore more scoring opportunities and a better shot at making a deep playoff run. In terms of the team's future, acquiring Bosa would send a clear message: Baltimore is all in. It would reinforce their identity as a team built around a ferocious, relentless front that can win games in multiple ways, by stopping the run, pressuring the quarterback, and creating turnovers. This move would also free up other defenders to excel in coverage, knowing that Bosa is there to handle the heavy lifting on the edge. It's a formula that has worked for championship teams before, and with Lamar Jackson's dynamic playmaking and a stout defense, the Ravens could position themselves as serious contenders for Super Bowl LX. Now, looking ahead, the Ravens need to consider their next steps carefully. The trade market is tricky, especially when trading away multiple first-round picks, but the potential reward, an elite pass rusher who can change the course of a game, is worth the risk. Baltimore's front office has shown they're willing to be aggressive when the right opportunity presents itself, and this Bosa rumor might be the biggest move of the offseason if it pans out. It's about landing a game-changing talent who can elevate the entire team and give Baltimore a real shot at finally crossing that Super Bowl finish line again. Before I wrap up, let's just reflect on what this could mean for the Ravens' identity. They've always been a team that prides itself on defense, on physicality, and on making life miserable for opponents. Adding Bosa would be the ultimate expression of that philosophy, a pure pass-rushing monster who can dominate from the first snap to the last. It would send a message to the league that Baltimore isn't here to just compete. They're here to dominate and to make a statement in the postseason. So Ravens fans, hold on to your hats, because if this trade happens, it's going to be one of the most exciting developments we've seen in recent years. The potential to bolster the front seven with an elite talent like Bosa could be the spark that propels Baltimore into the Super Bowl conversation once again. The road to Glendale, Arizona, might just get a lot more interesting with this kind of addition. Keep your eyes peeled, stay fired up, and get ready for some electrifying football ahead. The Ravens are always about resilience, grit, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. And with a move like this, that pursuit becomes even more dangerous for the rest of the league. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens. Do you think this Bosa trade could really happen? Would you be all in for it? How do you see it impacting the team's chances in the playoffs? I know Ravens Nation is passionate, and I love hearing your insights and predictions. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so make sure you stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come. Let's go Ravens!